Guys, welcome to page 4 of Model Solutions. Okay, number 12, the table gives information about the temperature in degrees C at noon in a town for 50 days. Part A, write down the modal class interval, so the most common class interval. Class interval is just a fancy name for group. What is the most common group? Looking down the frequencies here, you can see that the one that has the most frequencies, the most days in other words, is this temperature here, this group, so 20 to 24, but we're going to copy it down exactly as it looks there using these inequality notation. Part B, draw a frequency polygon for the information in the table. So a frequency polygon is a type of frequency chart, but it's not a bar chart, it's for continuous data normally, and you might be familiar with this word polygon meaning a straight-sided shape. But in our case, it is going to have straight bits which join the frequencies together, but we're not going to complete it into a shape. So how we do this is that we find the midpoint of each group. We're going to use the midpoint to represent each group. So for this one, it would be 10. We're going to go up to a frequency of 6 and put a little cross there. Now, just looking at this scale on the vertical axis, this being 5 clearly shows it's not 1 for each of these little squares. Now I know that there are 10 whenever you get to one of these bold lines, so that means that 2 little squares must be worth 1 degree. So 6 will be 2 little squares above the 5, so 10 up to 6 is going to go there. Next one, midpoint is 14 and we need to go up to 8, and that is going to go there. The next group, the midpoint will be 18 and we need to go up to 13. So that's going to be there. Midpoint here is going to be 22 and we're going to go up to 21. So that's there. And finally the midpoint for here is 26 and we're going up to 2. Okay, and then we're going to finish that off by joining those up with straight lines using a ruler. And this is why it's called a frequency polygon, because it ends up being a bit straight-sided like a shape, but we're not going to finish off by joining the last point to the first. Okay. Number 13, we've got a vertical line chart here, exactly the same as a bar chart, just lines instead of bars really. What is the modal number of siblings, so the most common number of siblings? So in other words, which is the tallest bar, and that is 1. So most people in this survey have 1 sibling. How many siblings does the class have altogether? Now this is not as easy as it looks. If we look at this first bar and actually think about what it means, this means that 5 people had no siblings. So how many siblings is that? 0. 5 lots of 0 siblings is 0. 7 people had 1 sibling. So how many siblings is that? That's going to be 7. 4 people had 2 siblings, so that would be 8 siblings in total. 2 people had 3 siblings, so that's going to be 6. 1 person had 4 siblings, so that's going to be 4. And 1 had 5. And it's those numbers that we need to add up. There's no point putting the 0 at the start. When I add those up, we're going to get 15, 21, 25, 30 siblings. I've done that right. And the mean number of siblings is going to be the total number of siblings, which we've just worked out, 30 divided by the total number of people. And again, it might seem tempting just to say, well, there are 6 people, 6 bars, but there aren't. We know there are 5 people in this first bar. There are 7 people in the next bar. There are 4 people in the third bar, and so on. I'm just looking at the heights of the bars here, because that tells you how many people are in those bars. So, oops. We may just be looking at the heights of the bars, but I'm going to write down next to them anyway, just so it's there. Numbers I need to add up. So I've got 5 plus 7 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1, so that's 12, 16, 18, 20 people, and 30 divided by 20 is 1.5. And that sounds about right for the average number of siblings. I know you can't have 1.5 siblings, and if you did, that would be quite messy, but mean averages can be decimals. It still tells us something. Okay, next page coming up in the next video.